For this tutorial, we're going to be discussing multiplying matrices. The most important thing when multiplying matrices is to make sure that the inner dimensions match. For this case, we have a 2 by 2 matrix being multiplied by another 2 by 2 matrix. Because these two inner dimensions match, we're able to multiply. It's also important to remember when multiplying matrices that we're going to be multiplying rows into columns. So for this case, for the first matrix, we're going to take the first row and we're going to multiply and add to the second column. So for the first spot on our matrix, we're going to have A times E plus B times G. And again, we're going to do that for the second column of the second matrix. So we're going to take A times F, we're going to add that to B times G, or excuse me, B times H. So now we move to the second row of our first matrix, and we're going to multiply that and add to the first and second column of the second matrix, as we did the first column. So for this spot on the matrix, it's going to be C times E plus D times G. And for the final spot on our matrix, we're going to have C times F plus D times H. Alright, let's do an example. Suppose we have 1, -4, 2, 5 being multiplied by 9, 3, -2, -2, 0. Can we multiply these matrices together? Well, let's look at the dimensions first. This is a 2 by 2. This is also a 2 by 2. So our inner dimensions match. Yes, we can multiply these. So what do we do first? Well, we're going to take our first row and we're going to multiply and add by the second or by the first column. So this is going to be 1 times 9 plus -4 times -2. And again, we're going to do that for the second column. Again with the first row. So we'll have 1 times 3 plus a -4 times 0. Now we move to the second row. And we're going to do that for both columns again. So this time it'll be -2, or just 2, excuse me, times 9 plus 5 times -2. For the second column, we have 2 times 3 plus 5 times 0. Shrinking that down a little bit so we can look at this again. Let's do some multiplication and addition. What's 9 times 1? That's 9, plus -4 times -2 is 8. 9 plus 8 is 17. Here we have 1 times 3, plus -4 times 0 is just going to be 3. Here we have 2 times 9, plus 5 times -2. That's going to be -10 plus 18. It's going to give us an 8. And 2 times 3 plus 5 times 0 is simply going to be 6. Let's work through another example. Suppose we have 1, 4, 2, -3 being multiplied by 3, 5. First off, can we multiply these? Well, let's look at the dimensions. The dimension of this first matrix is 2 by 2, and the second is 2 by 1. Since the inner dimensions match, yes, we can multiply. So we're going to take the first row by the first column. We're going to say that's equal to 1 times 3 plus 2 times 5. Now we're going to have to move down to our second row. And that's going to end up being 4 times 3 plus negative 3 times 5. Looking at this, we have 3 times 1 is 3, plus 5 times 2 is 10, which is going to give us a 13. Then we're going to have a 4 times 3, which is 12, plus negative 3 times 5 is negative 15, which is going to give us a negative 3. Let's look at one more example. Suppose we have 3, 5 being multiplied by 1, 2, 4, negative 3. Well, first off, can we multiply these? Well, let's look at the dimensions. First one is 2 by 1. Second one is 2 by 2. Since the inner dimensions of these two matrices don't match, we cannot multiply here.